episode 3 of What If season 3. And man, I really enjoyed this episode. Lower stakes, a lot more of a buddy cop fun vibe going into it, and these what ifs that they have are awesome. I loved this what if the Red Guardian stopped the Winter Soldier. It was really a good vibe. It was a really good vibe. It was a really fun vibe, and it was a grounded, down to earth episode. And I loved seeing young Red Guardian and of course young Winter Soldier, and just seeing them kind of being able to pop off of with one another. And it was just really cool to see. I love Red Guardian as a character because he has so much to prove, and any character that has a lot to prove like that and are who the Red Guardian are, they're just going to be a standout character for me. I just like it. And we start this episode off with seeing that basically, when the Russian government started utilizing the Winter Soldier program, is also kind of at the same time where they decided to, well, send the Red Guardian to go and to go and do this thing, to go and, what is it? The plot of Black Widow, right? Where he's kind of the dad and he has this whole little family and all these things. That for him to go do that, the Russian government has already got the Winter Soldier, and he's furious about it. He's like, the Winter Soldier is going to be doing this and all of that. He's going off about it, and I really like seeing that he knows who the Winter Soldier is. And it makes it so different from how we hear him in the Thunderbolts trailer when he talks about the Winter Soldier, and he's like, the Winter Soldier, that guy is so cool, right? It's a really different, it's a stark difference between the two. But I like the way that we see him like, you know what? I'm going to do what I need to do. It's just, I like it, man. I like seeing those things being kind of put together. It just really goes to show how much Russian things were really going on at one time. Like the Russians had the Red Room, they had Hydra, they had the Red Guardian stuff going on. Like they were really having a whole bunch of connections within the Russian area. And I love the way that we got to see bro play Tetris. Tetris has to be one of my favorite games ever. And I will also admit that I am furious with how Tetris is nowadays. I needed to go back to how it was back in the day. Just a real quick old man rant. But I love how we get to see these stark differences in the life that they both take, in the routes that they choose, of Red Guardian becoming basically Bob, what I mean, and seeing the Winter Soldier, or seeing Bucky really embrace being the Winter Soldier. Of course, he didn't have a choice to do that. I don't think either of them have a choice, and it's kind of interesting to see that the Red Guardian thinks that he wanted the life that Winter Soldier had, but he really did not want that at all. He wants the exact opposite. He is so different. He is a different person. He's not the same. So seeing that, and he's like, yo, he's just so different. He has a moral compass. The way he pulls up to really stop the Winter Soldier from killing the Starks. That's awesome. It just shows how, once again, how different of a character he really is, and how he does have a heart, and how all the things that he is against is capitalism, because he's the Red Guardian. And I love the way we get to get him going on these rants multiple times in this episode as well, and seeing them fight and all of it just looked really dope, and it actually got me super hyped for the Thunderbolts. I hope that their dynamic together is just half of what they got here. I know the Red Guardian is a super older guy in the movie, but I know we're gonna see them catching fades at some point. Everybody is going to be fighting in that movie, and I'm excited to see what they could do. Bam! I like to see them fight. I like the dynamic between the Winter Soldier and the Red Guardian. The way that we also find out that they both have vibranium. So it's just so crazy to think of the world building that was really done in this episode, and the way that they were able to link all these different background pieces that we know of together in and make this different story, really showing that What If is a What If MCU show. It is based off of what if the MCU happened a little bit differently, or what if this universe of the MCU happened differently. And we even see that the Russian government treated Red Guardian basically subpar, not even giving him up-to-date phones and making sure he has everything that he needs. So literally the entire universe, it just works together really well. It meshes together in a solid way. And Bucky was just looking dope in this episode as well. I love the way that we get to see Bucky. It was dope to see that Howard Stark making another appearance in this season already. I think that's 2 appearances for Howard Stark. Don't think that's by accident either. They're definitely probably teeing him up to be in to be in Doomsday or in Secret Wars or something, because they got him on the field a lot here, and I like it. I think it's a good take, if you will. Not as much of a good take as bringing Lawrence Fishburne back to play as Goliath. I mean, bro, what? They really just put their foot in it with this show, bro. They hit the ground running. I love the things that they've been able to accomplish with it, and how I've been surprised about a lot of the things that they choose to do. It's just like, oh, is that Lawrence Fishburne? That's wild. They bring back so many things, and they just connect the story again in so many different ways. They are able to take all these different threads and connective tissue that we know of the MCU and just rewire it, and that's super cool. I also love how Red Guardian just will always take the time to try and convert anybody from being a capitalist at every point of every day. It's really it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny, yo. I'm not gonna lie. He's just always going off on these communist rants, for a lack of better words. This is how this needs to be, and just going in. I said this already, but I did like to see them bro out, because they were bros for sure. I think even the Russian dude called them, hey, he's your brother. Don't get too bent up on it. Look at that. I think they actually had Red Guardian and Winter Soldier in episode 1 as well. So that's a double feature for them so far, and a double feature for Howard Stark as well, which is cool. I like this. This is crazy, bro. Red Guardian is very much a defensive type of person, right? He's not someone that's out here. He really is the Russian Captain America, right? Like, and everything that means and everything that stands for. I mean, we can forget that Captain America spent a long time being captain, a large majority of his time not whooping ass fighting crime. He was basically just a celebrity going on tour and having dancers around him and things like that. And I think that Red Guardian fell into some of that propaganda. Bucky have his signature weapon here. It is lit. I love the way he uses it so much. I'm excited to see. Bro, this episode really got me hyped. Thunderbolts. I'm not gonna lie to you. This got me so ready to see what we're going to be going in with Thunderbolts, bro. He just was being Bucky. I love the way that the Winter Soldier thinks and the way that he reacts, right? Like, we get this super dope moment of these cars side by side, and then he grabs the steering wheel from their car and causes them to spin out and just lets go, causing them to go crazy. Like, what a new thought and move. Who would ever think to do some shit like that? The Winter Soldier would. That's who. And then, of course, we get our dope reveal of Goliath, bro. Love it. Come on, son. Crazy to see that occur and see that pop off, yo. I love me some Goliath, bro. And I love me some Lawrence Fishburne as well. Those characters are solid. So it was why I just did not expect to see Goliath pull up in this What If show, in this What If series in any type of way. But it was awesome to see him. He's really going in. Holy. He's really going in. Got them chasing him. Having Goliath be that Nick Fury type of character, but also still being an agent. Bro, if this is something that actually happened back in the day, which I think it is something that happened. I think they did hint to Goliath actually being in the fray back in the day in that movie. But I love the way that bro, look at that shit. Vibranium wins all the time, bro. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, especially when they get clocked with vibranium. That substance is gonna hurt no matter how big you are, buddy boy. You feel me? Like, whoa, that was so cool. And then, of course, and shout out to Stuart with the Thelma and Louise call out before it even happened, right? I love the way that they just weave all these different things and are able to pay homage to so many different takes simultaneously. It's really cool. It's really cool. They really do weave these narratives together, bro. They pay homage to other projects that you can obviously tell that they like. And yeah, man, it's solid. And then as they continue to bro out, they being the Winter Soldier and Red Guardian, we finally get to hear a little bit about Red Guardian's history. And we find out basically he had no money, he was poor, grew up in Russia, and then he got the chance to be Red Guardian. I think it's a story that is very similar to Steve Rogers' story as being as being Captain America as well, right? They took these kids that really just wanted to prove to be better, to do something better, and they pumped them full of super soldier serum and forced them to fight in their wars. Just really insane to see how much that super soldier serum was really running rampant across the world. I don't think it was just Russia. I'm pretty sure there's everybody was trying to recreate super soldier serum in some way, shape, or form. It's been kind of weird that we haven't seen anyone else do that like that yet, or any other heroes around the world be created because of it. But I'm pretty sure that they will at some point. Maybe when we get Amadeus Cho or any of these other type of characters, we'll get into more gamma radiation and trying to repeat things. But it's so cool that Red Guardian locked in with Bucky and was like, helped him at least get a ounce of remembering who he was before. And I love that it's the Coney Island Fair. That's just so beautiful. They were just working crazy with the narrative in this episode, man. They were really weaving that shit together, right? Showing us that really all Bucky needed was a bro, right? When he got who's the bro, it helped him snap out of it. Well, he was already snapping out of it as well, but it's just so dope to see how these characters, if they just really had something else go different for them, things could have changed or turned out different. Well, not too much for Bucky. I guess he ended up being a mind slave anyway, but But it was just really cool to see the duality of Bucky and see him not stick to the programming and know that he was actually programmed, knowing that he's brainwashed and that they can just shut him off whenever. It really goes to show how much more they hit him with the electricity and the brainwashing over the years once we see him in the Winter Soldier, because he's not even talking anymore or any of that, right? So I just really, really I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the bro out so much. They're just in Vegas with the top down, wind blowing through their hair, Bucky with the shades on driving, and they're just chilling. What the hell? I just did not expect that at all. I also didn't expect to get this elevator callback scene as they go and look for the Rook. It was really just insane that we're gonna see this again in May, but with so many more characters, and that's gonna be crazy. And the hotel that they're gonna be in, I mean, the skyscraper they'll be in will be the old Avengers Tower that has recently been outfitted and reformed to a CIA outpost for the Thunderbolts and probably any other type of dispatch team that is in the MCU currently. So I did not expect it, and I definitely did not expect Obadiah freaking Stane to be the Rook. That was wild, bruh. So even though a lot of this stuff is not canon, a lot of the storylines and the plot that they use to build up other things is canon, right? So Obadiah Stane is still heavily behind the Starks dying, right? And not only was he behind killing Tony, or trying to kill Tony and making him become Iron Man, but he also was behind killing Howard Stark and his wife. That is so messed up. Bro just really wanted power at all costs, and it's really sad to see just how untrustworthy bro had been from the start. And like, his son is supposed to be showing up soon in the Ironheart series, so it'll be interesting to see if his son has a bone to pick because of his dad's death. I mean, it seems like Obadiah Stane he's gonna die one way or another. I like to see the betrayal of him be something that is a sure through line. Did not expect him to be the bad guy like that, bro, or behind it once again. But I love the way that Red Guardian earlier had told him, yo, your other arm is bulletproof. Why didn't you use that one? And then he does use that one and throw Red Guardian's shield to knock Obadiah out the window, murdering him. And he was like, I think I murdered that guy. Sorry. He was not a nice man. I just like the vibe between them and how we get to really see them grow as bros throughout this episode. It worked really, really well. I'm not going to lie. It worked really well to see them just, go back and forth, and then to see them just fight so well and just help. Yes, I love this. Give me so much more of it in every way possible, yo. And again, I think this is a precursor to what we see in Red Guardian and from Red Guardian and the Winter Soldier in the MCU, but maybe not as buddy, but they will be bros of some kind, right? I think that's something that we can say is that the whole team will probably end up being some type of fam bam in the end. Or maybe they just will continue to hate each other for the entirety of the episode or for the entirety of the movie. I was not ready for him to break out in that run. That run really did have me rolling the way he was just leaning back, chest forward, sprinting. Red Guardian he makes me laugh, bro. I can't lie. The things that he does, I'm not ready for them ever. But again, it's pretty cool to see that two super soldiers against a giant wars is going to be like two super soldiers is all it takes to take one giant man down, right? Let's go. He just straight vibranium punches the shit out of his ankle bone, and then they just launch Bucky. Look at that. My goodness, yo. Vibranium is one hell of a thing. God damn, and knocked him straight on his ass. I just wasn't, bruh. Let's go. They were really cooking for this episode with the fight scenes and just the dynamic between them and everything and just Red Guardian, bruh. I just was not ready for him, bro. Young Red Guardian at that, bro. He's a menace. He's even more of a menace. Kind of sad to think that he left his family, his quote unquote family, to do all this as well. So we don't know where Natasha, I guess Natasha did still end up becoming Black Widow and all that stuff. So that's cool. But we eventually see Bucky going through and getting the brainwash stuff happening. And the thing that he doesn't actually get the switch flipped for him. It doesn't switch on or it doesn't switch off. And it's because of the power of friendship. Bros before everything else. And being bros is what helped them here really lock in. And that was one hell of a thing, man. And then I love the way that they leap over this thing and to go out in a blaze of glory. But unfortunately, they somehow lost and Winter Soldier got recaptured, which is very sad. That's super sad. I thought that was very sad. I wasn't ready for that. I was like, damn, bro. Why did bro pick the short straw? He got sent back to be straight mind washed, brain controlled all over again and get put back right into the battle, bro. That's so messed up, bro, how they did our boy Bucky. Man, he just cannot catch a break, right? At all, man. And that sucks. But Bob embraces his Americanness, and then we see a badass moment where once again Lawrence Fishburne's character is basically the Samuel L. Jackson of this universe. He's the one that it looks like he's kind of putting the team together in one way or another, and I love that for him. I love that for his character. So different. It's something I really never expected. The things that they do is so unexpected. So I'm ready, bro. I'm ready. Like, look at that. And then we get this great shot of Captain American Russia Man, and then we end it with seeing the Avengers classic team up circle highlight moment, and then Red Guardian puts himself smack dab in the middle, and there they are. And it's a nice freeze frame moment for the end of this episode. I'm not gonna lie. And I guess everything will continue to go the way that it does. It's just that the one thing that will be different is he will be there. Like, so when they go to fight in when the Winter Soldier movie happens, he'll have a connection to him as well, which is pretty hilarious, bro. Pretty hilarious, man. I really did enjoy this episode. I have to admit, it was a pleasant surprise for me to have. I didn't think we were gonna have such a good time with it, but they know how to make these episodes fun. They know how to make these episodes interesting, and they know how to add enough lore and world building and kind of alternating that connective tissue to make just a grand time for, I think, everybody if you're up for it. So I really enjoyed this episode, and I hope you guys did too. Please drop all your thoughts, theories, and questions for episode 3 of What If Season 3 in the comment section down below.